Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of where I'll be telling out different Christmas stories to all of you. I want to say Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you've all got what you wished for, that you've had a really lovely time celebrating Christmas. Hello, Storytime with Knuckles. Nice to have you here. Last left off where we were on page 79 of A Christmas Carol. Oops, one moment everyone. Oops, no, I'm gonna go there, that's it. Sorry if you know, if my voice sounds a bit different. Just where I have a bit of like a chest infection or something. I mean, I did get over I did have the flu recently. Then I was getting better, and then I went back to where I was not long after that. I'll give it a few minutes to have more people to come over here. Let's see. Hi Fungi Media and Hasan the Sonic and Go Anime Fan 2K3. Merry Christmas to all of you. Charming Fungi. Hi Metalhead GG. Merry Christmas to you too. Hi Mind of Nora 1. Merry Christmas. Merry ho ho. I'm so sorry. But I didn't want it to stop me from carrying on with finishing the story of A Christmas Carol for everyone. So, did you all have a good Christmas? Alright, maybe we'll start off here. Right, just a moment, just gonna have a good cough, just one moment. Alright, I'm back. I'm I'm fine, thank you. Just got like a bit of this flu. Uh, well, I was getting better, but then I'm back to where I was. Makes no sense. Yes, I did. Thank you, Sonic. Did you? Happy to know that you had a good Christmas, Fungi. You're very welcome. I did. Uh, Thank you. Less stressful. With my niece and nephew than I thought it was gonna be. Hi, SC. Merry Christmas. Okay. SC is right. I'm not wearing any pants. Alright. I'll start reading the rest of the story of the Christmas Carol. Let me see some tenderness connected with a death, said Scrooge, or that dark chamber spirit which we left just now will be forever present to me. The ghost conducted him through several streets familiar to his feet, and as they went along, Scrooge looked here and there to find himself, but nowhere was he to be seen. They entered poor Bob Cratchit's house, the dwelling he had visited before, and found the mother and the children seated round the fire. Quiet, very quiet. The noisy little Cratchits were as still as statues in one corner, and sat looking up at Peter, who had a book before him. The mother and her daughters were engaged in sewing, but surely they were very quiet. And he took a child, and set him in the midst of them. Where had Scrooge heard those words? He had not dreamed them. The boy must have read them out, as he and the spirit crossed the threshold. Why did he not go on? The mother laid her work upon the table, and put her hand up to her face. The colour hurts my eyes, she said. The colour? Ah, poor Tiny Tim. They're better now again, said Cratchit's wife. It makes them weak by candlelight, and I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home for the world. It must be near his time. Pass it rather, Peter answered, shutting up his book. But I think he has walked a little slower than he used these few last evenings, mother. They were very quiet again. At last she said, and in a steady, cheerful voice that only faltered once, I have known him walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder, very fast indeed. And so have I, cried Peter, often. And so have I, exclaimed another. So had all. But he was very light to carry, she resumed, intent upon her work, and his father loved him so, that it was no trouble, and there is your father at the door. She hurried out to meet him, and little Bob in his comforter. He had need of it, poor fellow, came in. His tea was ready for him on the hob, and they all tried who should help him to it most. Then the two young Cratchits got upon his knees and laid, each child a little cheek, against his face, as if they said, Don't mind it, father. Don't be grieved. Oh, hi, house cat. Merry Christmas to you too. No problem, story time with Knuckles. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, Bob was very cheerful with them, and spoke pleasantly to all the family. He looked at the work upon the table, and praised the industry and speed of Mrs. Cratchit and the girls. They would be done long before Sunday, he said. Sunday? You went today then, Robert? Said his wife. Yes, my dear, returned Bob. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. Hi, Dillhole, you rascal. Merry Christmas. That's fine, House Cat. Good to see you too. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Dillhole. Okay. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there on a Sunday. My little child, cried Bob. My little child. He broke down all at once. He couldn't help it. If he could have helped it, he and his child would have been farther apart perhaps than they were. He left the room and went upstairs into the room above, which was lighted cheerfully and hung with Christmas. There was a chair set close beside the child, and there were signs of someone having been there lately. Poor Bob sat down in it, and when he had thought a little and composed himself, he kissed the little face. He was reconciled to what had happened, and went down again quite happy. They drew about the fire and talked, the girls and mother working still. Bob told them of the extraordinary kindness of Mr. Scrooge's nephew, whom he had scarcely seen but once, and who, meeting him in the street that day, and seeing that he looked a little, just a little down, you know, said Bob, inquired what had happened to distress him. On which, said Bob, for he is the pleasantest spoken gentleman you ever heard, I told him. I am heartily sorry for it. I am heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit, he said, and heartily sorry for your good wife. By the by, how he ever knew that, I don't know. Knew what, my dear? Why, that you were a good wife, replied Bob. Everybody knows that, said Peter. Very well observed, my boy, cried Bob. I hope they do. Heartily sorry, he said, for your good wife. If I can be of service to you in any way, he said, giving me his card. That's where I live. Pray come to me. No, it wasn't, cried Bob, for the sake of anything he might be able to do for us, so much as for his kind way, that this was quite delightful. It really seemed as if he had known our Tiny Tim and felt with us. I'm sure he's a good soul, said Mrs. Cratchit. You would be sure of it, my dear, returned Bob, if you saw and spoke to him. I shouldn't be at all surprised. Mark what I say, if he got Peter a better situation. Only hear that, Peter, said Mrs. Cratchit. And then, cried one of the girls, Peter will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself. Get along with you, retorted Peter, grinning. It's just as likely as not, said Bob. One of these days, though there's plenty of time for that, my dear. But however and whenever we part from one another, I am sure we shall none of us forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we? Or this first parting that there was among us. Never, father, cried they all. And I know, said Bob, I know, my dears, that when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, although he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily among ourselves, and forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it. No, never, father, they all cried again. I am very happy, said little Bob. I am very happy. Mrs. Cratchit kissed him. His daughters kissed him. The two young Cratchits kissed him, and Peter and himself shook hands. Spirit of Tiny Tim, thy childish essence was from God. Spectre, said Scrooge, Something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me what man that was whom we saw lying dead. The ghost of Christmas yet to come conveyed him, as before, though at a different time he thought. Indeed, there seemed no order in these latter visions, save that they were in the future, into the resorts of business men, but showed him not himself. Indeed, the spirit did not stay for anything, but went straight on, as to the end just now desired, until besought by Scrooge to tarry for a moment. "This court," said Scrooge, "through which we hurry now, is where my place of occupation is, and has been for a length of time. I see the house. Let me behold what I shall be in days to come." The spirit stopped. The hand was pointed elsewhere. "The house is yonder," Scrooge exclaimed. "Why do you point away?" The inexorable finger underwent no change. Scrooge hastened to the window of his office and looked in. It was an office still, but not his. The furniture was not the same, and the figure in the chair was not himself. The phantom pointed as before. He joined it once again, and wondering why and whither he had gone, accompanied it until they reached an iron gate. He paused to look round before entering. A churchyard. Here then the wretched man whose name he had now to learn lay underneath the ground. It was a worthy place, walled in by houses, overrun by grass and weeds, the growth of vegetation's death, not life, choked up with too much burying, fat with repleted appetite. A worthy place. The spirit stood among the graves, and pointed down to one. He advanced towards it trembling. The phantom was exactly as it had been, but he dreaded that he saw new meaning in its solemn shape. "Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point," said Scrooge, "answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may be only?" Still the ghost pointed downward to the grave by which it stood. "Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if preserved in, they must lead," said Scrooge. "But if the courses be departed from, the ends will change. Say it is thus with what you show me." The spirit was immovable as ever. Scrooge crept towards it, trembling as he went, and following the finger, read upon the stone of the neglected grave his own name, Ebenezer Scrooge. "Hi, Colleen. Merry Christmas." Just a moment, everyone. I come back. "Am I that man who lay upon the bed?" he cried, upon his knees. The finger pointed from the grave to him, and back again. "No, spirit. Oh, no, no." The finger still was there. "Spirit," he cried, tight clutching at its robe, "hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been but for this intercourse. Why show me this, if I am past all hope? For the first time the hand appeared to shake. Good spirit, he pursued, as down upon the ground he fell before it, your nature intercedes for me and pities me. Assure me that I yet may change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. Excuse me, sorry. The kind hand trembled. I will honour Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone. In his agony he caught the spectral hand. It sought to free itself, but he was strong in his entreaty and detained it. The spirit, stronger yet, repulsed him, holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed. He saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. Stave 5. The end of it. Thank you, Hassan. I appreciate that. Hi, Charmy and Mighty. Nice of you to come over here. Merry Christmas to you too. How are you doing? Yes, and the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own. The room was his own. Best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own to make amends in. I will live in the past, the present, and the future, Scrooge repeated, as he scrambled out of bed. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Old Jacob Marley, heaven and the Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, old Jacob, on my knees. He was so flooded and so glowing with his good intentions that his broken voice would scarcely answer to his call. He had been sobbing violently in his conflict with the spirit, and his face was wet with tears. They are not torn down, cried Scrooge, folding one of his bed curtains in his arms. They are not torn down, rings and all. They are here. I am here. The shadows of the kings that would have been may be dispelled. They will be. I know they will. Hi, Vicky Menji, fight scammers. Hi, Delia. Delia. Sorry, I got a bit tongue-tied there for some reason. Hi, Delia. Merry Christmas. I fell asleep to Sonic reading this story last night. Happy that I'm that good at reading stories. Should read everyone bedtime stories. His hands were busy with his garments all this time, turning them inside out, putting them on upside down, tearing them, mislaying them, making them parties to every kind of extravagance. I don't know what to do, cried Scrooge, laughing and crying in the same breath, and making a perfect Laocoon of himself with his stockings. I am as light as a feather. I am as happy as an angel. I am as merry as a schoolboy. I am as giddy as a drunken man. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hello here. Whoop. Hello. He had frisked into the sitting room and was now standing there, perfectly winded. There's the saucepan that the gruel was in, cried Scrooge, starting off again and going round the fireplace. There's the door by which the ghost of Jacob Marley entered. There's the corner where the ghost of Christmas presents sat. There's the window where I saw the wandering spirits. It's all right. It's all true. It all happened. Ha ha ha. Really, for a man who had been out of practice for so many years, it was a splendid laugh, a most illustrious laugh. the father of a long, long line of brilliant laughs. I don't know what day of the month it is, said Scrooge. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I'm quite a baby. Never mind, I don't care. I'd rather be a baby. Hello, whoop, hello there. Oh, sorry. Just a notification. Oh, dill hole. As if I would ever do that. Anyway. Hi, Stealth. Merry Christmas to all of you. He was checked in his transports by the churches, ringing out the lustiest peals he had ever heard. Clash, clang, hammer, ding, dong, bell, bell, dong, ding, hammer, clang, clash. Oh, glorious, glorious! Running to the window, he opened it and put out his head. No fog, no mist. Clear, bright, jovial, stirring, cold, cold, piping for the blood to dance to. Golden sunlight, heavenly sky, sweet fresh air, merry bells. Oh, glorious, glorious! What's today? Cried Scrooge, calling downward to a boy in Sunday clothes, who perhaps had loitered in to look about him. Eh? Returned the boy with all his mind of wonder. What's today, my fine fellow? Said Scrooge. Today, replied the boy. Why, Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day, said Scrooge to himself. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow. Hello, returned the boy. Do you know the porters in the next street but one at the corner? Scrooge inquired. I should hope I did, replied the lad. An intelligent boy, said Scrooge. A remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one. What, the one as big as me? Returned the boy. What a delightful boy, said Scrooge. It's a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck. It's hanging there now, replied the boy. Is it? Said Scrooge. Go and buy it. Walker. Sorry. Walker, exclaimed the boy. No, no, said Scrooge. I'm in earnest. Go and buy it, and tell them to bring it here, that I may give them the direction where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown. The boy was off like a shot. He must have had a steady hand at a trigger who could have got a shot off half so fast. Nice, Hassan. I just wanted to stop by and say hi. I got to hang out with the fam. Take care, and I hope I catch Infinite under the mistletoe. You take care. Merry Christmas. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's, whispered Scrooge, rubbing his hands and splitting with a laugh. He shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. John Miller never made such a joke as sending it to Bob's will be. The hand in which he wrote the address was not a steady one, but write it he did somehow, and went downstairs to open the street door, ready for the coming of the poulterer's man. As he stood there waiting his arrival, the knocker caught his eye. I shall love it as long as I live, cried Scrooge, patting it with his hand. I scarcely ever looked at it before. What an honest expression it has in its face. It's a wonderful knocker. Here's the turkey. Hello, whoop! How are you? Merry Christmas! It was a turkey. He never could have stood upon his legs. That bird. He would have snapped them short off in a minute, like sticks of sealing wax. Why, it's impossible to carry that to Camden Town, said Scrooge. You must have a cab. The chuckle with which he said this, and the chuckle with which he paid for the turkey, and the chuckle with which he paid for the cab, and the chuckle with which he recompensed the boy, were only to be exceeded by the chuckle with which he sat down breathless in his chair again and chuckled till he cried. Shaving was not an easy task, for his hand continued to shake very much, and shaving requires attention, even when you don't dance while you are at it. But if he had cut the end of his nose off, he would have put a piece of sticking plaster over it, and been quite satisfied. He dressed himself all in his best, and at last got out into the streets. The people were by this time pouring forth, as he had seen them with the ghost of Christmas present, and walking with his hands behind him. Scrooge regarded every one with a delighted smile. He looked so irresistibly pleasant, in a word, that 3 or 4 good-humoured fellows said, "Good morning, sir, a Merry Christmas to you," and Scrooge said often afterwards that all of the blithe sounds he had ever heard, those were the blithest in his ears. Hi, customer support. Stopping by to say hello to all you bastards. And Merry Christmas to you too, customer support. I'm not like ceiling, like in the room that is ceiling, like to close something. He had not gone far when, coming on towards him, he beheld the portly gentleman who had walked into his counting house the day before, and said, "Scrooge and Marley's, I believe." It sent a pang across his heart to think how this old gentleman would look upon him when they met, but he knew what path lay straight before him, and he took it. "My dear sir," said Scrooge, quickening his pace and taking the old gentleman by both his hands, "how do you do? I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you. And Merry Christmas to you, sir." "Mr. Scrooge?" "Oh." "Thank you. I appreciate that, customer support. Sexy bastard." "Mr. Scrooge?" "Yes," said Scrooge, "that is my name, and I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon, and will you have the goodness—" Here Scrooge whispered in his ear. "Lord bless me," cried the gentleman, as if his breath were taken away. "My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?" "If you please," said Scrooge. "Not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me that favour?" "My dear sir," said the other, shaking hands with him, "I don't know what to say to such "Don't say anything, please," retorted Scrooge. "Come and see me. Will you come and see me?" "I will," cried the old gentleman, and it was clear he meant to do it. "Thank ye," said Scrooge. "I am much obliged to you. I thank you 50 times. Bless you." "Oh, one moment." I should have been prepared for this. Hi, Beetle Jesse. Merry Christmas. Just sorting out a bot. Come on. Sorry, it's taking a long time. Sorry, just give me a moment. Come on. There we go. Hi Care Bear, Merry Christmas. Oops. He went to church and walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro, and patted children on the head, and questioned beggars, and looked down into the kitchens of houses, and up to the windows, and found that everything could yield him pleasure. He had never dreamed that any walk, that anything, could give him so much happiness. In the afternoon he turned his steps towards his nephew's house. He passed the door a dozen times before he had the courage to go up and knock, but he made a dash and did it. "Is your master at home, my dear?" said Scrooge to the girl. "Nice girl, very." "Yes, sir." "Where is he, my love?" said Scrooge. "He's in the dining room, sir, along with mistress. I'll show you upstairs, if you please." "Thank ye, he knows me," said Scrooge, with his hand already out on the dining room lock. "I'll go in here, my dear." He turned it gently and sidled his face in round the door. "Thank you so much, Care Bear." They were looking at the table, which was spread out in great array, for these young housekeepers are always nervous on such points, and like to see that everything is all right. "Fred," said Scrooge, "dear heart alive, how his niece by marriage started." Scrooge had forgotten for the moment about her sitting in the corner with the footstool, or he wouldn't have done it on any account. "Why, bless my soul," cried Fred, "who's that?" "It's I, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner. Will you let me in, Fred?" "Let him in. It is a mercy he didn't shake his arm off. He was at home in 5 minutes. Nothing could be heartier. His niece looked just the same. So did Topper when he came. So did the plump sister when she came. So did everyone when they came. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful anonymity, wonderful happiness." But he was early at the office next morning. Oh, he was early there. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he had set his heart upon. And he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1/4 past. No Bob. He was full 18 minutes and a half behind his time. Scrooge sat with his door wide open, that he might see him come into the tank. His hat was off. Before he opened the door, his comforter too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock. "Hello," growled Scrooge, in his accustomed voice, as near as he could feign it. "What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?" "I am very sorry, sir," said Bob. "I am behind my time." "You are?" repeated Scrooge. "Yes, I think you are. Step this way, sir, if you please." "It's only once a year, sir," pleaded Bob, appearing from the tank. "I shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir." "Now I'll tell you what, my friend," said Scrooge. "I am not going to stand this sort of thing any longer, and therefore," he continued, leaping from his stool and giving Bob such a dig in the waistcoat that he staggered back into the tank again, "and therefore I am about to raise your salary." Bob trembled and got a little nearer to the ruler. He had a momentary idea of knocking Scrooge down with it, holding him, and calling to the people in the court for help and a straight waistcoat. "A Merry Christmas, Bob," said Scrooge, with an earnestness that could not be mistaken, as he clapped him on the back. "A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavour to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop, Bob. Make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit. Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more, and to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and was good a man, as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh, and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good, at which some people did not have their fill of laughter in the outset, and knowing that such as these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes in grins, as have the melody, I don't know, sorry everyone, in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well. If any man alive possessed the knowledge, may that be truly said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, every one. The end. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed that story. I will actually be right back. I'm sorry that it's really sudden. I just need to sort out different things. I will only be right back very soon. Right, I'm back, everyone. Now, I didn't have to use the toilet, thank you, Dillhole. I went to install a reverb audio effect. I was thinking maybe I could sing maybe a couple of Christmas carols to all of you, or like Christmas songs, like traditional ones. So just going to test how it sounds. I don't know how to do it where I can hear myself before letting you all listen. Okay, testing 1 2 3. You're very welcome. So I'm just testing things out. Oops, not that one. Oops, just one. I'm so sorry, everyone. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Right, let's see. Hello, hello. Jingle bells. You right, Delia? How does the reverb sound to you? Just want to make sure it sounds absolutely fine. Okay. I'm getting quieter. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Hello. 1 2 3. One, two, three, hello. Jingle bells. Okay. much. Right. I'll try some. How is my audio? Is it okay? Okay. Can you hear it after I've switched to monitor off it? Has the reverb been removed? Can you hear the reverb? Let me see. I know which one to go for. Just going to look for a song to sing to all of you. Can any of you hear the reverb, or is it gone? Just having a listen. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens if I turn this off. How does it sound now? Okay, I'll go for this one. Take care, Hassan. Can any of you hear me? I just want to make sure that um when I put the reverb on it, it's not too much or anything. Merry Christmas, Hassan. Probably need to go a lower key than that. You can hear me? Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Hassan. That's much appreciated. Thank you. Ah, there we go. And how is the reverb? Just let me know. Can you all hear the reverb? I don't want to sing without uh, having anyone telling me. Because I want to make sure singing with the reverb effect, would give it more I don't know the word, more special. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear the reverb? Let me know if it's too much. Alright, I just wanted to make sure. Can you hear the reverb story time? I'm using an audio effect when my voice echoes. Can you hear the echo? Okay. Alright, Vicky and Benji can't hear it. Okay, let me know if my mic is too, if the audio from my microphone or the music in the background are too loud or too quiet. Alright, sorry for the delay. Let's just get on with this. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together, if the fates allow. Until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Alright, how's that, everyone? You're very welcome. Sorry, some bits, it was all bumpy. It's because of where I'm, my, chest, is not feeling that great. Oh, I need to sing louder. I'm sorry. No, I mean, gay as in happy. Let me see. What else could I sing? My voice does sound a little deeper at the moment because of how it is with my throat. Do I have the Grinch song? No, I haven't. Uh, okay. Yes, I do stealth. I'm going to see how this goes. No, not the right key. I should have been more prepared. You're welcome, Storytime with Knuckles. I'll try this one. No. That's alright. Sorry. There's notifications. Ah, how about let it snow, let it snow, let it snow? Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some corn for popping. The lights have turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight. Oh, for goodness sake. Sorry, I forgot to put the reverb back on. Oh, no. Okay, we'll try it again. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I've brought me some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really grab me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay. I'll try Silent Night, if it's the right key, of course. How was that, by the way? Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. I can't do it, I'm sorry. Too high. Sorry. Not with how my lungs and throat are. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben. Dogs that'll talk and will go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. Mum and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. There's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. It's the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. Christmas, toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. Sure is Christmas once more. There we go, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that. Sorry I couldn't sing Silent Night there. It was the wrong key for me, too high. But just thought I'd sing something else. I may have sung the wrong notes for the bits in between the chorus of It's Beginning to Sound Like Christmas. Oh yeah, I still have it on. There we go. Close. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Vicky and Benji Fight Scammers. I think I'm going to end it here because I wanted to finish with reading the rest of A Christmas Carol. Sorry that it's a shorter stream uh, than the past two streams I've done. Just when my lungs do feel so irritated because of how ill I am with the congestion, and of course with having a sore throat. But yeah, I thank you all so very much for coming along. I'm very grateful. I really am. Oh yeah, somebody asked me a question if what I got for Christmas. I absolutely forgot. How rude of me. Um, yeah, I got some new record boxes because the other ones that I had, they were wearing out. Some of them were actually getting mouldy, which what isn't nice. What else? I got some Sonic the Hedgehog clothes. You probably wouldn't have guessed, but yeah, I didn't know. They were. It was a surprise for me. Um, but yeah, trying to think what else I got. Oh yeah, uh, that uh, that Knuckles the Echidna series on DVD. I didn't even know it would already came out on DVD, so I will watch that. But yeah, sorry, I'm rambling on. Ew, who would ever want to get a used one, Dilhole? Seriously. Something like a skank would use. Oh yeah. Anyway, I hope you will all continue having do what you can do, Sonic. I don't think anyone will worry. No, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. I hope you all will continue enjoying the rest of your Christmas, and I should see you all soon before the new year. So, you all take care. Again, Merry Christmas. I'll see you all again.